What's up everyone, Darcblade here bringing you a new series for Uncharted 4. Like previous Naughty Dog games I've covered, this series covers the weapons in the game, mainly focusing on the multiplayer, but can also be applied for the single player. Anyway, let's get into the first episode of Uncharted 4 Gun Guides. In this first episode, we'll take a look at a staple of the Uncharted series. As with many other shooters out there, the AK-47. The AK-47 in Uncharted 4 is a very balanced gun, a bit of jack of all trades, master of none. It is a default weapon, so it's available to players from the start of the game, and costs 5 loadout points. It is a fully automatic assault rifle, meaning that you can spray bullets as long as you hold down the trigger. As a result, it's best used in close to mid-ranged encounters. The AK-47 has individually low bullet damage, but makes up for it with a moderate rate of fire. Finally, the weapon comes with moderate recoil and accuracy ratings. The AK-47 can be modified in various ways. These include starting ammunition mod, which increases the amount of starting ammo a player has in reserves when spawning. However, picking this increases the loadout point cost by 1. Next is reload speed, which increases how quickly the weapon can be reloaded. This increases the loadout point cost by 2. Next is clip capacity, which increases the ammo that can be fired from the weapon before reloading. This unfortunately increases the loadout point cost by 3. Next is silencer, which means that players will no longer show up on radar when they're firing their weapon. It also unfortunately increases the loadout cost by 4. Next is BLINDFIRE accuracy. This increases the accuracy and frequency of hit markers occurring when firing your weapon without aiming down sights. But picking this will also increase the weapon's loadout point cost by 3. Next is recoil. This reduces the kickback of the weapon, meaning that aiming the reticule will be easier to manage. This will also though increase the weapon's loadout point cost by 4. And lastly is aimed strafe speed. That increases your movement speed while aiming down sights. However, picking this increases your loadout point cost by 3. For me personally, a lot of these modifications work well with the AK-47. None really outshine the others, although personally I prefer to go with either recoil or silencer, as these best suit my gameplay style. Of course there are hero weapons. These are pre-made weapons that come with 2 modifications attached to them. However, going for one of these weapons normally can cost 10 loadout points or more, so make sure that when using one of these weapons, it has 2 attachment mods that you really want. The pros for the AK-47 is that it is a weapon that is balanced. It performs well at close and medium ranged encounters. Fighting at these distances are preferred thanks to the weapon's moderate recoil. Of course you can fight at longer ranges if you forego fully auto firing your weapon by tapping the fire trigger instead. Doing this though means that you won't be taking advantage of the AK-47's decent fire rate, and as such it may be better to try to flank the enemy and get closer to them. The main cons for the AK-47 though are its low individual bullet damage. It also suffers when fighting at these long ranges. While it can be done, thanks to the low bullet damage and the recoil, it can result in long drawn out fights, or running out of ammo. The AK-47 resembles pretty well its real life counterpart of the same name. It is found in many parts of the world and used by many armed forces, PMCs and more. So let's recap on the benefits of using the AK-47 in Uncharted 4. Firstly, it's a balanced weapon. Next, it functions well at mid to close ranges and has a good rate of fire. But on the cons, it has low individual bullet damage and is poor at long range encounters. In other installments of Uncharted, I have normally shied away from the AK-47, normally favouring the other default weapons, but in Uncharted 4 my opinion of the weapon has increased. It functions well in most maps and can normally be relied upon for most game modes too. Of course there are weapons that will be better at long range, close range, bullet damage and such, but for a default weapon, this is a choice you cannot go wrong with, and that is why the AK-47 gets a 7 out of 10. If you're unsure of what weapon to pick and want something balanced to start your Uncharted career, then you cannot go wrong with the AK-47. Anyway, I've been Darcblade, bringing you my Uncharted 4 gun guide to the AK-47. Hope you enjoyed the video, thanks for watching, subscribe and like for more.